This video has been brought to you by Wallop Technologies.
Arcade Heroes.
Greetings, it's Adam with ArcadeHeroes.com, and I have to start off with an apology. This is some news that I should have done a video about roughly a month ago. In fact, I think exactly a month ago today. Yes, a month ago today. But about a month ago, I was starting to get sick, and I had the flu, but I got stuck with this really nasty cough where when I would talk or attempt to talk for any length of time, I would just start coughing, and it made doing anything like a video where I'm talking a bit difficult to manage. And so, better late than never, but my apologies to LAI Games. I did fortunately get this post up, but still felt like, should still do a video to highlight these things. And so, as it mentions here from January 8th on ArcadeHeroes.com, that LAI Games warms things up with 3 new arcade releases, including Asphalt Moto Blitz DX. And so, that's the game we'll start with, as to being available for arcades. And as you see here, I've talked about this one on the channel, on the website. I filmed it at IAPA 2023. Is being played. It ships in what we call a twin cabinet format, and wow, it's on 480p there. That looks like garbage. There we go, that's better. But what Asphalt Moto Blitz DX is essentially a recrafting of Asphalt 8. I think it's called Airborne. That's available on consoles, and so this version of it would be wholly arcade exclusive. While it's based on one of the Asphalt Legends games, it's very different. The way that everything plays is different. And I believe it was IGS that redeveloped the software of this, just like they did with Asphalt 9 Legends Arcade, Asphalt Legends 9, I can't remember which way the number is supposed to go there. But this one, as you can tell from the cabinet, it's focused on motorcycle racing. It's essentially an answer to, say, Superbikes 3, which is one of the best-selling motorcycle arcade racers that's out there, but it's not the only one. It's just, if you go to most arcades, you likely would see a Superbikes more than maybe something like Stormrider 2 or Asphalt Moto Blitz. But of course, this just barely came out. It's only been out for a month, and so there's plenty of time left for LAI's efforts to produce fruits and for the game to show up out there. Asphalt Legends Arcade has popped up at a lot of family entertainment centers, or as we call them, FECs, and so if this gets the same kind of coverage as that game, as Asphalt Legends did, then I think it won't be too difficult to come across this out there. Now, unfortunately, I do not know how much these are going for, where they are sold in a twin cabinet configuration, which means you're getting it looking just like this, to arcade cabinets that are linked together that also share the same marquee, and you can purchase 2 pairs and link up to 4 of them at once. And it's a fun game. I did get to play it, and now I think I've mentioned this before. I'm not sure if the motion base that this and some of the other motorcycle racing games out there really add all that much to it. I mean, they certainly add a lot more cost, but I don't know if they really enhance the experience all that much, just because when you're on a motorcycle controller, you already have the swivel sort of thing there, and maybe some rumble going on from within the seat. I mean, the bike controllers on this game are fantastic, no complaints there. They have some controls on the front panel so that you can manipulate things within the game, like choosing different selections without having to swing widely over one side to the next. There's a camera on it. There's wind effects. The wheel on this, which I don't think I filmed, unfortunately. I'll have to look around and see if I have a any footage of that, but like the LED effects, as you can see really briefly there, are really awesome. Probably the best out of any motorcycle racing game that's out there. But another thing to mention is that this has 4 different game modes: Tournament, Classic, Curfew, and One-on-One. One of these also pits you up against licensed supercars. I think that's the one that they're playing right here, where some of the supercars that you find in Asphalt 9 Legends pop up here. And so it's a motorcycle versus car race, but you cannot pick one of the cars to race. It's just an AI-controlled vehicle in that regard. But again, great to have another arcade exclusive racer on the market, one that comes with licensed motorcycles, supercars, has a name attached to it that people instantly recognize, that isn't Fast and Furious. And so have you played this one already, since it's been out for a month now? What do you think about it? Let me know in the comments below. And as I saw somebody mention on the Apex Rebels news about the Sega Blue Skies, it's like, this one has blue skies too. Don't know if they're quite as intense. Like this one over here has clouds in the distance. But blue sky in video games, if anybody remembers the old UK Resistance website, pushing hard to move away from the dreary browns and grays that so many video games had and bring us back to some bright, vibrant, happy, warm colors and blues. And doing that campaign, you might remember that or not. I don't know how long you've been around. But that's not the only game that LAI Games has launched to the arcade market. It's certainly the most high-profile one, but they've also released Airstrike. Now, this game was developed by Ace Amusement, which is a company out of China, and they've become very prolific in their developments. They've developed dozens of games that are being carried by various different manufacturers. If I'm recalling correctly, but I could be wrong about this, Airstrike is the first time that LAI and Ace Amusements have teamed up together. But again, I might be wrong. It's possible on the Dragon's Bane coin pusher game. I can't recall who it is that developed that. It might be Ace, but it also might be somebody else, or it might be LAI themselves. They do have a development team. But Airstrike, this is both it can be operated as a video game, or what I like to call a redemption game, a video redemption game. And so if it's in redemption mode, then it's spouting out tickets for you to get. But if it's in pure video game mode, which I believe it was at IAPA, then you just play it like a normal video game for points. And so I always like it when redemption games have that option, but also that they've tailored the gameplay to work properly in that regard. And so because there's sometimes ticket games don't require a lot behind them, they're not very deep, then they're very fast, or at least the ones that earn the best are very quick, like 30 to 60 seconds at most, if not even shorter. Like quick coin games, which only last a few seconds, tend to be very high earning games, but you wouldn't want that out of a video game. And so when you have these two modes within a game, you want to make sure that the video side is satisfactory enough and an offering between 1.5 minutes to 3 minutes at least, if not more if your skill is there. But as you can see here, this is an aerial combat game, and it's kind of a racing game too. Like, you are supposed to reach the end goal before the time runs out. You can see the timer there in the upper left-hand corner counting down. Just that is one thing that threw me off a little bit about this, is that there's no accelerator in this at all. There's no boost, as I recall. I mean, maybe I'm forgetting on that regard, but you want to, okay, right as I say that, then I hit a boost in the game where I was filming. But you want to be able to avoid obstacles and take out enemies quickly enough so that you can arrive before the timer hits 0. And this also is sold in a twin cabinet configuration as well, and so you'd always have 2 players guaranteed to play against each other. This one I don't recall for if it links up to more than that. Oh, but I also just realized that I wrote in the post, I was skipping over this, that so Asphalt Moto Blitz DX is in the $28,000 to $30,000 range, whereas Airstrike is in the $15,000 to $17,000 range. Depends on your distributor. But what is cool about this one is it has a pendulum swinging base, which is something that Sega's done in the distant past, and a few others have done it too, but it's not been a very common way to offer motion within modern arcade games, and so that was a nice touch. Oh yeah, you can also grab extra time, which is nice, and of course power-ups. That's when I ran into something. From what I recall, it felt like I shouldn't have hit that. I thought I was low enough, but I ran into it anyways. But don't know how much the software might have changed between the IAPA build and the production one, although it was only like 2 months, so it would have been minor tweaks on that at best. But I mean, still original fun game. Feels a little bit like Prop Cycle, where you're not having to pedal. The yoke controller worked out fine. The only thing that threw me off was, like I said, when I felt like I should have been below the object, like the canyon wall, and I actually ran into it. It has some cool creatures in it, like that gigantic turtle-like thing, and other Jurassic or Triassic era creatures that you're fighting. I only played this level. I didn't play any of the other ones. I probably should have done that if I had the time. But nice, again, new addition to the repertoire of what arcades are offering this year. Let me know again what you think about that one. And then last but not least, we have Dragon's Bane, or the image that I pulled up, it said Dragon's Bane Heroes, but on the LAI website, they removed Heroes and they just call it Dragon's Bane. So probably just a last minute change. But this one is a coin pusher, but it also has video game elements to it. And so what you had is, on each player station, you have this colored kind of treasure bag. It's like a plastic molded target that's just moving back and forth constantly, and so your purpose is to hit the button and launch a coin into the hole there, into the target, and if you land it, then it unlocks things within the video game side. And one thing that I constantly saw was how it would stop the bag and it would just keep launching coins straight into it, and so you'd be able to rack up lots of coins on the pusher field and lots more tickets. But it has different game modes within it, and it also has this second monitor here to show information and bonuses, I think it is. But that one is also available now, and in the realm of $23,000 to $25,000, which for a 3-player coin pusher, that's actually not bad at all. I've seen some coin pushers go for around $50,000. So when it's half that and it has a video element to it, then that makes it, I would assume, more enticing for locations that like coin pushers. I don't have any coin pushers. I never have owned a coin pusher, and that's not been something that I've generally focused a lot on. Just not my thing. But I fully understand that they can rake in tons and tons of money for locations. And now there is another game that LAI showed off at IAPA that is also a coin pusher, called Cosmic Tower. At the show, it was called Cosmic Spire, but they since changed it to Cosmic Tower. That's supposed to be shipping out sometime this month. I don't know when exactly or for what price. I just know it was delayed to February. And let's pull that up really quick. So here we go, Cosmic Tower. And it does say new release, so maybe it is actually shipping now. I mean, even if it wasn't shipping this exact day, since it's supposed to be shipping out this month, then you can go to your distributor and place an order. But this one doesn't really have any video elements to it. It's more just a straight coin pusher with this unique tower element to it, and has 2 player stations on each side there. But yeah, if we go back here, this is where you can see Dragon's Bane without the heroes part on it, Airstrike, and then Asphalt Moto Blitz highlighting the whole game's page. But yeah, lots of new stuff from LAI games right out of the 2024 gate. Let me know what you think about these games. If you run an arcade location, are you interested in any of these, adding it to your game mix? Are you gonna wait for some reason? For me, I'm waiting on purchases until I can pay off more debt that I accumulated in years prior. And so I'm hoping to eliminate some, at least one or two of those bills this year, which would help me work on eliminating even more bills. But that's just my focus right now. But yeah, let me know what you think about this. Or if you're a player, which of these games would you be most enticed to go and play? Are you a coin pusher person? Are you an arcade person? Are you a redemption person? Which one tickles your fancy? Let me know in the comments below, and we will catch you on the next video.